Who's junior? And you are
The third.
the third. Gentlemen, both of you are charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On February 20th, 2025, officer dispatched to First Baptist Church. A caller stated that a white pickup truck parked behind the Baptist Church and two Hispanic males exited the truck and were walking around the property. The officer arrived on scene and observed one of the ground level windows opened and a window air conditioner unit pushed in on the inside of the building. The officers then observed two Hispanic males exit the doors on the west side of the building. The defendants then turn and look at the officers and then run in the opposite direction for approximately 30 yards to C Street, run an additional 20 yards to First Street, and then turn and run an additional 30 to 40 yards. Due to the circumstances of the incidents indicating the possible further progress with fleeing suspects who could have been armed, the officers drew their duty pistol and gave defendant Love Jr. and several commands to get on the ground and allowed him time to comply. He disregarded the command, so the officer took defendant Love Jr. to the ground. Defendant Love III ran around the building and then subsequently followed the commands to lay on the ground. They were both contained. Defendant Love Jr. stated that they panicked, so they ran. The officer stated, "You looked right at me and knew I was a cop, but you still ran," to which the defendant stated, "I know, bro, it wasn't the right thing to do, sir."
Your Honor.
They look at the cop and they run.
Yes, sir.
Cops never tell them to stop. And what are they doing wrong? I guess, what is this, Minority Report? You know what I mean?
I don't have any additional things.
Guys, be careful. You know what I mean? How old are you, sir?
18.
You gotta be careful, man. When you start racking up convictions, life doesn't get easier, man. It gets so much more difficult. And the more convictions you rack up, you're only 18, man. Life doesn't get easier. You get bigger, fatter, you lose hair. It doesn't get easier. And the more convictions you get, the worse you make life. Life is all about money. And if you have money, then life is great. And you only get it with one thing. This or this. Hard work or knowledge. Going around picking up cases, that's not the right way. Don't pollute. Do you understand? I'm going to find no probable cause on both of your cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take a seat.
Hi, counsel.
You ready?
Hey.
First.
Your Honor, I'm here on Marina Mary. It's an arraignment.
Okay, do you mind bringing it up? Are you here for Mr. Bresson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, Miss Mary. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Your Honor, on Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, officers observed a vehicle hit a curb median or traveling eastbound at the 10,500 unheated Genoa Road in Harris County, Texas. A traffic stop was conducted. The officer smelled a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on her breath and observed her to have glassy eyes. The defendant admitted to drinking the 1 tequila sunrise alcoholic beverage. SSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the H2N, but they transported her to JPC for the other test due to rainy weather and the defendant being wearing heels. She then at JPC refused the rest of the SSTs and blood warrants.
Okay. Miss Mary, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Have you run her to see if she has any prior to gas and if she has a license? Please. Miss Mary, I'm going to, like I said, find probable cause. I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using either, I will revoke your bond, put you in custody. Do you understand?
He is eligible if he is tested.
Correct. As long as you have valid liability insurance in your name, as well as the license, you may continue to drive. If you do not have either, then you may not drive. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel, and they'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you've gone AWOL, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Don't pick up any new case. All right? For now, I'll have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you get with Fleischer if your bond conditions, then you're free to go. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Cooley. Mr. Cooley, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On February 21st, 2025, an officer observed a white Nissan Sentra without a front license plate. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant driver. The officer observed the odor of marijuana. The defendant admitted to having a cigar blunt with marijuana inside the vehicle. A probable cause search was conducted. The officer observed on a scale in the front driver's side door panel a full cigar with marijuana inside tucked near the passenger seat and center console, and a large plastic bag containing approximately 1.06 ounces of marijuana on the passenger floorboard. The officer found a box of sandwich-sized Ziploc bags and one separate Ziploc bag containing marijuana residue. The defendant was identified with his Louisiana ID.
Can you write him to see if he has a Texas driver license, please?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Cooley, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. The only condition I'm putting on you at this time is you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand? If you do not have either, then you're not allowed to drive, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. If I find that you do, then I will put you in jail. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay, I need you to fill out an application for me to see whether you qualify. So Deputy Echigon is going to give you an application. I'll have you fill it out. I'll take a look at it. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, though. You understand? Okay.
So nothing is copied.
So you do not have you don't have a Texas driver license. You're not allowed to drive. This is an affidavit that you're going to be signing with me today. I don't care what's going on in your life, Mr. Cooley. I don't care that you have to go to work. I don't care that the baby has to go to the hospital. If you don't have a license and insurance, do not drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and I will scream with joy taking this off for you. But until that point, don't. All right, I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria for your signing reset, and then Deputy Echigon will give you an application. All right, please.
All right, Judge, next is page 4, Gutierrez.
Is your name Luan Cooley?
Yes.
Oh,
I have a lawyer online,
Oh,
so I guess next we'll, Leonard is last name, but the defendant, Leonard, bottom of 6.
okay.
You are Rachel Gutierrez. Ms. Gutierrez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you now.
On February 23rd, 2025, at approximately 3 o'clock in the morning, the officer observed a vehicle fail to signal lane changes twice and disregard traffic control devices, changing lanes over solid white lane markers, and then return to the lane it was already in. The temporary tag that the defendant had on her vehicle was expired as of January 17, 2025, and was voided. The officer continued to follow the vehicle, and the vehicle repeatedly failed to drive in a single lane despite another vehicle in front of it. The vehicle was also caught traveling 60 miles per hour in a 50 mile per hour zone. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant driver, and she was identified by Texas driver's license. The officer observed red, glassy eyes and the odor of alcohol emitting from the defendant's person. The officer also observed the odor of marijuana emitting from the vehicle. The defendant admitted to consuming 2 beers and admitted to smoking a blunt while driving until the officer pulled her over. The defendant stated she was headed north, and she stated she was headed home, but her home was in the opposite direction as she was traveling. SFSTs were conducted. 4 out of 6 clues observed on the ATN, 4 out of 8 clues observed on the walk-in turn, 2 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to provide a blood specimen.
Okay. Any prior DWIs and can you?
No prior DWIs, and her driver's license is eligible.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you, condition of your bond, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming either, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Ma'am, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Apply.
Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll have you fill out an application, or sign a receipt. Victoria will get police you for your bond conditions, and we'll take a look at the application. Please.
All right, Judge, next is page 6, Council's approaching on
Mr. Evans.
Leonard, Marcus, come on up.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great, Judge.
Here we go. I got Mr. Leonard coming up. All right, you are Marcus Leonard.
Yes.
Mr. Leonard, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. Just so you know, you're not here alone. Your lawyer's here with you, but on Zoom as opposed to being in person. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Okay.
On February 21st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers met with a complaining witness as a walk-up.
Hold on a second. Do not talk. Okay.
Officers met with the complaining witness as a walk-up. Complaining witness stated that on February 19th, 2025, he and the defendant with his father stated that they were discussing who was stronger and that they eventually felt disrespected by this. Complaining witness stated that the defendant then pushed him into a bathtub and then told the complaining witness to leave. And when the complaining witness was grabbing clothes, the defendant pinned the complaining witness and struck him in the eye, causing an orbital fracture.
So it's son. So I see that he's a prior assault. Same complaining witness?
The one from 2008?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Have you spoken to the complaining witness in this case?
Yes.
What is his wish?
No comment.
Okay. Did you hear that, Mr. Evans?
Yes, I know Mr. Leonard very well, 20 years. Very familiar with the situation, so I understand completely.
All right, so Mr. Leonard, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. It appears that a protective order has been issued on the 22nd of this month. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, then the state can and probably will file a violation of the protective order. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand? I am also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact or not to be in possession of weapons. If I find that you have contact with the complaining witness in this case, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Now, you've got a great lawyer because you have one. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but stay in touch with Mr. Evans. He'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. So do you mind filing no contact in the weapons, please? So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We will have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then after that, you'll be free to go. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, though.
Thank you, Judge.
Hold on, I need to get your date.
No, we already got it.
Oh,
I came by yesterday.
All right, have fun, man. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Judge, next is page 8. McKelvey.
Hey, Brian, about your guy,
He hasn't been brought up yet.
still not. Do you think we'll get him?
Maybe,
Are you, can you be here if we don't get him today, can you be here Monday?
Yes, and I think that's what we're anticipating on doing. I told the chief, talking with the court, and I think the plan will be rolling to Monday.
Okay.
To find out. This, you may recall, this is the issue, it's had the competency questions. The gentleman who we did competency order, he'd been sent out of state to Louisiana. We did get that back. It had some issues and he's on a 9-day mental health PTI. So there are some issues that I need to see what state he's in. So, and I just have some concern now
Well, obviously, because it's number 4.
And if he's not going to be accepting DRP, and I just think it's leaving us with very little options here. And I just need to pick options.
So you want DDRP?
well, I don't think DRP is acceptable.
What do you think?
Well, we did a TRAS before, we voted to see about that. The TRAS, during the TRAS, they said, well, it's hearing voices, so we can't really continue the TRAS. And then their recommendation was we can't accept them in our GDRP because there's been a history of aggressiveness with the staff. And so we tried to go that route and you just didn't find any available kind of resources. And so that's where we thought, well, maybe the best resource is a mental health PTI. And that's where things were at until, at least to my knowledge, until I got that email.
Okay.
Right.
I guess we'll roll to Monday, we'll figure out.
Yes, I'll look at it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Frank. You were Ms. McKelvey.
Yes, sir.
Ms. McKelvey, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On February 21st, 2025, officers observed a black SUV traveling northbound on the Louisville Freeway at a high rate of speed at 98 miles per hour. The registration was expired as of February 2024. A traffic stop was conducted and an officer detected a strong odor of marijuana. FSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 7 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one leg stand. She consented to breath, which came back to a 0.139.
Good morning.
Are you signing? This is Mr. Mendoza.
Yes, sir. And we should have a attorney appearance on file.
You are Mr. Mendoza. Sir, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On the gun case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On February 23rd, 2025, officer observed the defendant failed to stop at the designated stopping point in Harris County, Texas. The defendant was driving and stopped after the white stop line at an intersection where the traffic light was red. The defendant almost crashed into another vehicle before stopping, so a traffic stop was initiated. While the defendant was stopping, he ran into a chain link barrier that was blocking a private property. The defendant, the driver, was identified by his Texas driver's license and stated that he was coming from his sister's residence. The officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer asked the defendant to exit the vehicle, and the officer observed him to be unsteady on his feet. The HGN was a 6 out of 6. The defendant was then detained. He advised that he had a handgun under the middle console. The SFSTs were conducted at the intoxication room, which was a 5 out of 8 on the walk and turn and a 2 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and consented to breath, which came back to a 0.150 and a 0.145.
Okay. Any prior to be license, does he have a license?
In your honor. And his driver's license is eligible.
Okay. Mr. Mendoza, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, your bond will be revoked. You'll go into custody. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Now you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them, and they'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and then you're free to go.
There's no weapons?
Yeah, I guess so. Right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Madam
Thanks,
Chair.
sir. Yes, sir.
Next judge is page 11, Rios.
Mr. Rios. More. So you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. On February 20th, 2025, officers were dispatched regarding a DWI at the 14,700 block of Wallaceville Drive in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a black Dodge Charger parked at an intersection when the light was green for motor vehicles to proceed forward. The officer utilized his horn to get the driver's attention, but did not get a response. He then made contact with the defendant, who was the driver's sole occupant, and observed the defendant to be asleep while the motor vehicle was operational at the time of the offense while his foot was on the brake. The officers were able to open the motor vehicle through the front passenger door to turn off the car and observed red bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, and chunks of vomit on the defendant's shirt. The defendant denied consuming any alcoholic beverages and stated that he was coming home from work. The SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 3 out of 8 on the walking turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results are a 0.140 and a 0.141. He was identified by his driver's license.
Got it. Any other prior to the and
No
license?
problem with your eyes and his license eligible.
Got it. All right, Mr. Rios, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming any, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Sir? Now, because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them, and they'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case. You're a danger to my community. I only have one place for you. You understand? Yes, sir? For now, I'll have you go to Victoria Sign and Reset. We'll have you get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Thank you, I'm very accept.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Judge, next is page 14, Torres, come on up.
You're Ms. Torres Rodriguez. Ma'am, you are charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to silence anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be going to you.
On Saturday, February 22nd, 2025, officers were dispatched to a theft call for service at the Target at 22165 FM 529 in Harris County, Texas. The LPO advised that the defendant was observed on video placing items in her shopping cart. She then went to a different aisle and began placing those items in her purse. The defendant then exited the store past all points of sale with those unpaid items inside of her purse. The reportee then escorted the defendant back into the store and had the defendant empty the stolen merchandise from her purse. The total value of the item stolen was $469.92.
Got it. Okay, Ms. Torres, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go to any Target whatsoever for any reason. You understand? If I find that you go to a Target or if you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, no more PR bonds. You understand? You mind filing that? No going to any Target, please. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Or what would you like to do? Okay, I'll have you go to Victoria Sign and Reset. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll look at your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. Yeah.
All right, Judge, next is page 15, Vasquez, come on up.
You are Erica Vasquez.
Hello, sir.
Mrs. Vasquez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On February 23rd, 2025, officers were dispatched to the 23,900 block of FM 529 Road in reference to a major accident. The officer made contact with the paramedics who were providing care to the defendant and stated that the defendant required transport to the hospital due to complaints of pain and high blood sugar levels. The witness stated he observed the defendant still sitting behind the wheel of the vehicle when he pulled over to assist her after seeing the vehicle stuck in the ditch. The defendant stated she failed to maintain a single lane, which caused the vehicle to go off the roadway and enter a ditch filled with water. The defendant admitted to drinking 2 bottles of Smirnoff and was observed to have red glossy eyes and the odor of alcohol on her breath. The defendant was transported to the hospital. The officer observed an open 24-ounce twisted tea can, which was cold to the touch in the center console.
So drinking while driving?
Yes, Judge. As an SC cannot be conducted, the blood warrant is signed and executed.
Valid Texas license. Ms. Vasquez, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive for any reason. Do you understand? If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what your reason is. There's no justification you could give for getting in the car and driving. Do you understand?
He does have an eligible driver's license, Your Honor.
Any prior DWIs?
No prior DWI, Judge.
This is the affidavit that you're going to be signing with me. This is a court order that you promise you're not going to drive. Do you understand, Ms. Vasquez? I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am?
I have a lawyer. I have a lawyer.
You already have a lawyer.
Yes.
You have. You hired one, or are you going to
Yeah,
go?
I hired one already.
Oh, Judge Oakham, Para, I guess it does sign on.
So what we'll do is we'll just have you take us. Well, first now I'm going to have you come up short to section I can drive, and we'll get you to Victoria Sign and Reset. You will get with Fleischer your bond conditions, and then we'll just have you wait for your lawyer and back. Okay?
Judge, that's it for now. The other ones are waiting on their attorneys before we can follow them up.
Okay. Counsel, you can get him. Mr. Butler. I was thinking Mr. Dixon for a second, but.
Thanks. I have Mr. Flynn on the docket this morning for arraignments.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Mr. Flynn?
Flynn. Oh, Finn.
Finn.
Finn, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Finn. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On February 22nd, 2025, at approximately 11:07 p.m., an officer was dispatched to 59 Northeast Cross Timbers on City Street. The officer observed a vehicle run a red light, take the exit, swerving in and out of lane number 2, and cross 3 lanes of traffic, almost striking a guardrail. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer observed the driver to have bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcohol upon his breath. The officer had the driver and the passenger exit the motor vehicle. The driver consented to SFSTs, and the defendant performed them. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HTN. 5 out of 8 clues were observed on the walk-in turn. 3 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were .141 and .138. The defendant advised he had 1 drink while at a bar, and he was the owner of the vehicle, and he was identified by his Texas driver's license.
Any prior DUIs?
No prior DWI, Judge.
Valid license?
Valid license.
All right, Mr. Finn, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, your bond will be revoked. You will go into custody. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them, and they'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Just keep my city safe. That's all I want. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you get with Fleischer through bond conditions, and then you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Where's the Fleischer?
David Daniels, come up.
Marcus Leonard? Marcus Leonard.
Good morning, Your Honor.
It's not a good morning. No. You are using my name on an occupational license, and you're not in compliance with what you're supposed to be doing. It's unacceptable. If I find that it happens again, I'm going to yank it. I want to make sure that you're not using while my name is on the license. Do you understand?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sending you now for a drug test. I want to make sure that you're not using, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. The first thing I want to send you for a drug test to make sure, and then we'll go from there. So we'll send you, and then we'll have you come back.
Yes, sir.
This is your judge?
No, don't worry about it. I'll have
Okay,
Victoria.
thank you.
Thank you.
You don't have to go over there.
Okay.
Was he going?
This one was removed from BWI PCI.
Do you have an offer on this case?
There's a probation, probation officer on there, Your Honor.
Do me a favor. On Mr. Rivera, can you take lockbrooks off?
Yes.
Yeah, right now, please. Do you have a lawyer, Mr. Rivera?
No, sir.
Let me express how upset I am at this case, how long it's been going on, and how much drama this has caused. You are now ordered not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to put a GPS monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. I'm now also giving you a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. If I find that you consume alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond. No. Let's do this. Do you mind appointing her a lawyer now, please, so we can once and all, correct? Just take a seat for me in the jury box, man. You're not allowed to leave.
Judge, when Mr. Burns,
This case is 800 days old.
when Mr. Daniels, it takes 3 days for the drug test to come back.
It's about the test that we took when.
I can do a rapid and it'll come back, but it won't test.
I know. I'll do both. I want to do the rapid and I want to do the other.
Okay.
Mr. D.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Hi.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I am here on Mr. David Shaw. You had wanted me in the state to talk to you this morning after I'd gone and
Were you able to get the video?
I got some investigation. I went out yesterday evening and went to the apartment complex where my client, Mr. David Shaw, resides. I did
You didn't have to go there, Mr. D. I mean,
I know, but I wanted to do the right thing, Judge. They wanted some information.
Well, I mean, really.
And I had to get the information for you. That's what we do.
Okay, so how far is?
I walked it from east to west. It's 550 feet from the east to the west entrance. So, and he would have to be moved from his location to building number 29 in order to be outside of the 500-foot range of what it complains.
So what's a reasonable? So, Blaze, what's a reasonable number that we can keep so that the distance? You know, because I don't want him going anywhere near.
Right.
Right.
With 200, because I know Mr. Jason said it was about 500.
It's 550 from east to
I don't
west.
want to have to eject him from his apartment,
Right.
but at the same time, I don't want him going anywhere near.
But we have to do something because he's in number 320, 321. Yeah.
100, is that sufficient?
I think that would be good. Yeah, he have to hit 200. No, it's not. That won't make it, Judge, because he stays in 321 and the CW stays in 323. So
They're neighbors, essentially, Your Honor.
I don't know how to do because I just don't want him to go near her, and that the possibility of them running into this is way too high.
I agree, Judge.
I don't know what to do.
See if we can, I could talk to the management and see if they can.
He's in custody right now, or?
Yes, sir. He has a felon's opinion, so I could talk to the management and see if there's a possibility of moving him to building 20.
Well, hold on a second. I mean, what is the cost number? Do you mind? You have it here?
255-3185. 255-3185.
Do you know if he's planning on?
No, sir, not to my knowledge. He's not working at this time, Judge, and he still has that felony opinion. So.
I mean, while he's in custody, I guess it's a non-issue, right?
Yes.
If in the event that you find out he's going to post bond or he has, at that point, I guess we can readdress it. But there's no sense in trying to move or do anything prematurely while he's still in there anyways, because.
He has my number, and I told him to keep in contact with me if he makes bond, Judge. So,
all right, let's just keep it as is now. I'm not even doing it because he's in custody anyways. He's not bonding out. So
We have a call set today, so we'll.
right. I mean, you still got the new cases, so that's going to take. Okay.
3 times penitentiary.
So, which was, keep it at 500 feet as of now, or?
We'll keep it as is.
Thank you, Judge.
More than the thorough class order. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. I don't know if you know, but your lawyer's here with you, but he's on Zoom. Just not here in person. Okay.
On February 22nd, 2025, an officer was dispatched to a major crash call involving the defendant striking a parked vehicle in the Concord at Gulfgate apartment complex. The Houston Fire Department observed the defendant asleep behind the driver's seat. The officers observed the defendant to exhibit bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and the strong odor of alcohol upon his breath and slow movements. SFSTs were conducted. 4 out of 6 clues observed on the HDN. 4 out of 8 clues observed on the walk-in pattern, and 3 out of 4 clues observed on the one-night stand. The defendant consented to a breath test, and the results were .125 and .121.
Okay. Any prior DPIs and a valid license? Mr. Rojas, I'm going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Sir.
His driver's license is eligible.
As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, then you may drive. If you do not have liability insurance, car insurance, you are not allowed to drive. That is also a condition of your bond. Do you understand? Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You do not have to come to court until your lawyer tells you to. So you must stay in contact with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Don't consume alcohol, don't consume drugs, and don't be a danger to my community. Do you understand? I will have you sign a receipt with Victoria. You will get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go, sir.
It said, April 29th or May 1st.
April 29th through May 1st, Michael.
April 29th. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, cheers.
Have a good weekend, Your Honor. Bye-bye.
Have fun. Mr. Madrid.
Yeah, good morning, Your Honor. I've got a case on Monday at Christopher Torres.
Okay.
I had emailed your coordinator earlier and to give her kind of a heads up. No, we were hoping to possibly plea. We had done a PSI 2 weeks ago because we were going without an agreed rec. I'm currently, I'm not in trial today, but I've been in trial for the last week on a capital murder trial. We don't have trial today, but we resume on Monday, and I think it's going through Wednesday. So I was requesting if we could move it till Thursday, if possible.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're in trial, you know.
Okay.
What's your cause number? You got it?
It's 2522707.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I am.
You in TSU?
Yes, I am a property manager. I'm in grad school getting a master's in counseling, and previously I was an adjunct professor last semester.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. You're doing great. You know, just, we all fall down, you know, we all make mistakes, but the idea is that just no more, right? Especially when it endangers other people, right? Don't say, no, don't. Just, you're doing great. Why mess it up? You know what I mean? You're doing really good. So we're not going to do anything with you now. We'll let you keep going. Just don't forget to blow anymore. If it happens again, I'm going to yank it. You understand? No, now's not the time, because the problem is that I don't want you to say something that hurts you. You know what I mean? You've got a license. There's requirements with the license for you to have it. If you don't fulfill those requirements, I can't keep the license, you know?
See.
Okay, I'll let you speak with Shatoria, and then Shatoria can always, you know, kind of be the in between, okay, if there's any issue.